So you're going to have to start opening up the G-spot. This book here gives you everything on it. Female ejaculation in the G-spot, Lulu-ah. That's the one you that's the one you want to deal with. That's the one you want to deal with. Now, this picture here, if you focus on this picture and focus on it and focus on it, you can transport yourself back there to the temple and where this was built. This was built to have a certain reaction within you. This is why they don't show these particular temples. This is why they don't show black love. So the Spirit said, no, get the book and put these together and bring that out, because this is a book from the 60s. And I got one from the 80s and stuff, from the 90s, a book of the temple. But this is the one from the 60s, one of the first ones that came. I said, get that book. They say, and you can tap into that stuff. It can be erotic. You can, by you focusing on this, you transfer it in the subconscious mind, and the males will come and stuff that's going on here. But it's also, so it's a talisman. These things are not just pretty pictures. And our people didn't build these temples over there for just you to come and think that it's some pretty pictures to look at. You see what I'm saying? It's an actual talisman that's going on. Huh? Yeah, it has a purpose. Give me some questions right quick.
Bobby,
yeah.
You talked about the rituals and what to look for. You mentioned the Trilogy Blade. What other films that are out there we need to look at?
Okay, there's a movie that just, as good you said that. Okay. They say if they can't beat them, join them. So there's a movie just came out yesterday called Darkness. I was lucky to get an advanced DVD of it from them Africans down there, you know. Them Africans got a whole network. I don't know how they do. They got motherfuckers inside the movie studios. So I got a DVD of it a week before it came out. It's a little off, you know, you know, it's a little, the words ain't hooked up with the mouth, but hell, I grew up on Kung Fu flicks, so I can dig that. You know, it's a bootleg. But anyway, in this movie, they talked about them having, it's called Darkness, but I'm thinking I'm going to go see this on the big screen. They talked about there's something in a child's fears of the darkness, that where he's fearing actually a primal essence of where he came from before creation. So they said that about 40 years ago, they tried to get together 7 children to sacrifice them to bring back this darkness, but one got away. Now, what happened 40 years ago? 40 years ago was the 100-year anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation. It was Frank Herbert's Doom came out. Malcolm X was killed. Hell, that was enough right there. Especially Malcolm making the transition. Because it came out Christmas Day, but it's meant for 2005. So they say 40 years later, they was going back to get this one child that got away so that they could bring on the darkness. Let me tell you what these crackers did. They did a ritual yesterday in this movie. Usually in these movies where they have this sinister plot to bring on the darkness or destroy the world, they usually good always comes in and prevails and saves the day. I got so sick of damn good, I didn't know what to damn do. Do you know in this movie they let the damn darkness win? In the ritual? And I said, oh, that's a ritual. If they can't beat the chaotic melanin realm, they're trying to join it. So that's one to look for. Now the movie Blade 3, they did one thing in the movie, although they went to Iraq to get this Dracula. They showed in the movie, they had these vampires that said they got one in every city where they got these people hooked up and they draining this blood from them. That's the same thing they're doing at what they call public storage. Where they say they get these homeless, nobody miss them, and they do experiments on them. It's in the movie, but it's also what they've been doing in public storage where these homeless been disappearing. You see what I'm saying? So they've dropped that in the movie. The next one is Species 3. It came out on video. It didn't go to the movie, it came out on video. And in the movie now, you gotta read the lines. The white girl in the movie, that's the species, is actually the black woman. She's perfect. She can't find no white man to mate with because they're imperfect. But there's some other half-breeds that's dying, and they need her, which is white folks. And they need this perfect DNA to try to mix. But even in this movie, they let her live. But you just got to change the characters. The half-breeds are white people. The species woman who is blue-eyed and blonde hair, that's to throw you off. That's the black woman. See, they code it that way. And you get that species 3. You know, they code it that way now. This is the other thing. You got 28 Days that came out last summer, summer 2003. The next summer, 2004, they had Dawn of the Dead that came out, and it's about something gets in the blood. And they've been having these things since the Night of the Living Dead. And this zombie come, and you go wild and crazy. So they showed it on 28 Days. Now, this is all about Melanin. Summer 2003, so get that movie, 28 Days. Then Dawn of the Dead came out this summer, or this May, and was #1 in the movies the first weekend, and it's about the same thing getting in the blood and people going crazy. Now stick with me. Then they had this spring Shaun of the Dead that came out, and it's basically Dawn of the Dead again, but they put it in a comedy form, but it's serious dropping up in there. And basically who get bitten turns into this zombie or these demons or this wild beast. What's getting ready to so it's a story. Why would Universal Studios put out Dawn of the Dead and Shaun of the Dead the same year? It's because they're trying to tell a story that in our bloodlines, you think you crazy now, but you're going to be even more crazy when certain astronomical configuration, they say they got a big day on June the 7th, January the 6th or something.
January the 6th, but last night,
Mm-hmm.
Mercury, Mars, and Venus lined.
These shits are all lining up. They're lining up monthly. And when that happens, the invasion is going to come from the inside out. You getting ready to turn into this other species that's coming out of you. And that's why the white man is evacuating America by shutting the shit down and putting it under Homeland Security. You see, the real terrorist in the mythology is not some Arabs. The real terrorist is Kali, the ancient black goddess, and her spawn, which is talking about a melanin invasion